Hey, we made it.
Happy New Year to
Happy New
everybody.
Year.
Happy New Year.
Is everyone excited? I'm excited for 2019.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So excited.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. For me, while I didn't feel anything particularly on the like the 31st, it was like blah kind of thing. And then yesterday, it was just like my energy just took off. And I was like, oh, I don't know what that was, but oh, this is good. Maybe a little extra sleep helped.
Yeah.
And also, for not the first time in years, but one of those things of not going out on New Year's Eve. I actually, for the first time ever, stayed home on New Year's Eve, and my daughter went with her dad to his family's place and everything. And I fell asleep waiting for them to come back. Luckily, I did that because they showed up almost at 2 a.m. in the morning, and my little girl was like, I have a headache. And I was like, oh. But anyway, she slept till about 8:30 in the morning and felt much better the day, in the morning after. But, it was one of those things of I got a fabulous night's sleep. At midnight, all the fireworks went off. I didn't even know.
I didn't hear any, and I heard one when I went to bed about 10. I didn't. You know you're old when.
Yeah. So, for me, it's not that it was a non-event, but I definitely felt amazingly on the first, where I was just so in the zone of this is what I'm doing this year. So I really wanted us to talk today about New Year's resolutions, because I personally don't believe in them. And I have my reason for that, because I think that it takes a lot more than just a New Year's resolution to actually kick me in the butt and get me started. And somebody is gate crashing us. Look at that. We have been gate crashing.
How are you doing?
Happy New Year, honey.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, ladies. You look incredible.
We're a panel of 5 today, are we?
Yes, we are. We are.
Wow.
So yeah, we were going to start talking, Sharon, about not believing in New Year's resolutions and what to do instead.
It's a good topic.
So, who wanted to go first? Samantha D.
Well, I'll start by saying that in ancient Roman times, New Year's resolutions weren't really, a thing, but instead people used to exchange figs and honey and well wishes. And that was where, that was kind of where the New Year thing kind of started. And then it's developed today into, you wake up on January the 1st and say, right, I'm going to run a marathon and I'm going to eat 600 calories a day and I'm going to learn Latin, and
oh, brilliant. Wow.
You don't want to do
that. 2 weeks later, you're like, screw it. So, no, I haven't made resolutions for a lot of years. They're just fruitless. And I think you have to prepare for something, and you have to be mentally prepared for something, for anything, any kind of change to work. You have to be in the right mindset.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is that it takes a lot more organization to actually carry it into effect than I think that you realize. And I mean, I've done this before where I'm going to get fit and I'm going to change my diet and I'm going to do this. And I changed my diet the same week. Oh, I'm getting photobombed. I changed my diet the
Oh.
same week. I start a new exercise regime. And then I don't know why I feel like shit. You know, I feel so damned awful because I'm doing all this exercise I haven't done in years, and I'm eating this new diet, and my body's like, I can't handle this, man. What on earth are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, it can become a torture, and you don't want to start your year with torturing.
I mean, the local gyms must really enjoy New Year. They must really love January.
Well, absolutely, especially if it's wintertime, because I mean, like, it doesn't work very well, for example, in New Zealand or anything like, or Australia, because of course it's the middle of summer there. And so why on earth would you spend money on a gym membership when you've got the great outdoors? But in any country where, you know, you've got wintertime, the gyms must make a fortune in the new year because you're not going to go out and do your exercise. You're not doing cycling. You're not going to, I mean, you might do running, but probably not, you know. And so, of course, yes, you're going to go to the gym. But how many people start the new year with this whole thing of I'm going to get fit and healthy, and they start 5 different things at the same time, and you just cannot do it. It can't be done.
Yep. I think most gyms are kind of full in Jan, and then the car parks start to look empty towards Feb, and then March is like, you know, there's just no.
February, you have the perfect excuse if you live somewhere where it snows, because, you know, February is the coldest month. I couldn't get there. And so, you know, on top of the fact that I didn't feel like it, I now have a perfect excuse of the weather didn't allow it. But then in March, you never get back again.
Yep. I think a lot of it too is why we make the choices that we make. So we make these choices that I want to change my diet, and I want to start going to the gym, and it's because I want to look a certain way instead of I want to show up in the world a certain way. And as long as we're focused on the way this looks instead of on the way that it functions and on the way that we show up in the world. I mean, it's all about everybody else. And no wonder we don't have any drive or any motivation, because appearance is in the eye of the beholder. And we don't get that. We don't get that return on our investment unless somebody goes, girl, you look good. Oh, and if you don't hear that, you're like, oh, well, why am I doing this? As opposed to when I'm doing it because I want to be healthy and I want to be around and I want to show up for my kids or my nephew or my sister, brother, parents. When we do that, we don't need the feedback from other people to stay focused on our goal.
And the thing with the feedback is it doesn't really work. If you don't feel like you are fit and doing a great job and healthy and so on, it doesn't matter if someone tells you, you know, you look great and so on, and 5 minutes later you are going to look in the mirror and say, look at this fat ass. And it doesn't work that way.
I think as long as it's external, it will never work, because what others see is not what you see, and that's what got you in this place in the first instance. So it's got to come from within, and when it does come from within, it can't be all guns blazing, obviously, because that just never works.
And it's, you know, I mean, like we always read about habit stacking, but most of us don't do it, you know, and we're not busy, you know, starting one little thing at a time. You know, I've learned the hard way of, you know, I have one change each month that I'm trying to introduce, and they're small changes. There's, you know, you don't try doing major changes all at once, you know. So for me, for January, everyone's like, well, what are you doing in January? I'm like, well, I'm doing the gratitude challenge again. And they're like, well, what else are you doing? I was like, that's it.
Good for you.
I am going to eat better. Yes, I'm going to exercise more, but I'm not putting any pressure on myself other than the gratitude challenge, because I know myself better than that. I know that if I try to do 2 or 3 things, one of them, or more likely all of them, are going to get
Mhm.
left by the wayside. And
Yeah.
I'm not going to have that consistency that leads to a permanent change. And so why would I do that to myself? So one of my things with the gratitude challenge is we're in the middle of summer here, which is absolutely beautiful, by the way. I mean, we've had sunny mornings every day, sorry guys. I'm just going to shut it down.
Well, somebody just slap her. So jealous.
Oh my God.
-3 here.
I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous.
Sweet baby Jesus. -3.
We're at 6 degrees, but still cold.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, no, I mean, literally for me, I take the dogs for a walk, and literally we have an outdoors gym in every children's park now that our local city council and every kids park has 8 to 10 exercise machines for adults, which I think is fabulous, because who wants to really go to the children's playground
Mm-hmm.
and you're standing around doing what while your kids are playing?
It's such a great idea, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. So,
you could climb on the thing with your kids and play with your kids.
and fall my ass off there.
Yeah.
Get stuck on the slide halfway down. I do that. I go to the park and I get on the equipment with the kids, and people are always asking me, where's your kid? Where's your kid? And I'm like, oh, I don't have one.
I'm just watching everyone else's.
Me. It's me. I'm the kid.
But for me, that's actually been fabulous. I don't go there at all, I admit, during the rainy season, because during rainy season, it is mosquito infested.
Yeah. And mold. You get all kinds of mold and stuff on the playground too, which is so bad for your body.
So, admittedly, we don't spend a whole lot of time there during the wet season, but in dry season, I can go twice a day, and I can do 30 minutes every morning, 30 minutes every afternoon, quite happily. And do I feel like it's a chore? No, it's just part of the daily routine, you can play on the slide as long as you like, and I'm just going to do some reps.
Just look at the image of London buses having stationary bikes on them. So instead of sitting on the bus,
that's a good idea. Great.
No, wait. Bikes that actually power the bus. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yes, that would be amazing. Yeah. But then it's raining half the time here, so it makes sense that people take bikes on buses sometimes.
Yeah.
Charlie Ray was saying it's -23 with her.
oh
my gosh. Oh man, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it.
So back to topic.
That's ungodly right there. That is no.
Oh man, no, thank you. No, thank you at all.
Read your
I become a raging bitch in the cold. I am not a fun person to be around when I am cold. Oh God, it's so bad.
Well, I'm that way with heat.
Yes, I am that way with heat. I hate the heat. Cannot stand it. No.
Oh, I hate the cold. I love the heat. It gets to 115 degrees here. I love it.
Wow.
Oh,
even here, Tampa doesn't get that hot. It only gets up to 95, 98, and we're done.
It gets into the 20s here in the winter and way above 100 in the summer.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's a dry heat, I assume, as opposed to
very, very dry.
Here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's a bit more livable. Because the humidity in the hot. Yeah. You're just sweating buckets. You're sweating buckets here.
You get out of the shower and it's like you never left. The shower just goes with you through the day.
Ladies.
Kimmy tried it when we moved to Philadelphia, because I grew up on the West Coast, not on the water. So she tried to warn me, when we go to Philly, the heat's gonna be a lot more than you're used to. And I was like, oh, I got this. We moved there and it felt like Satan himself just sat on my location. It was so hot and so overpowering. And I just remember the sweat pouring down my face and being like, how is this physically possible that I feel this hot inside? It's not on my skin. It's heat that's like in your organs. I've never felt anything like that.
Yeah. Welcome to my world. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh my God, I was just like, what? No.
Yeah. And it's funny because here in what is our dry season, temperature wise, it's hotter than in the wet season, but it feels cooler. And everyone's like, oh, it's so cool. Actually, it's not. It's actually warmer than it was in the wet season, except that because there's no humidity, it's like it feels cooler. So the temperature is nothing to go by.
No. I love that. When I first moved to this location here in Northern California, we live right at the base of a hill. And I used to love to walk out on the ocean in Tiburon, where I lived in the Bay Area. And at first I was really upset about these hills because, like, my mom, who loves to walk and is a little powerhouse, came with me one day and we made it about halfway up this hill and we're like, well, got to turn back around because I don't have any steam left. And I got really upset. And what I've discovered is actually it really, living on a hill, even in the winter, I can bundle up. Like, I can cover myself in clothes and still go walking and get that. It's like a 40-degree hill all the way up, a good 2 miles at 40 degrees up, and then take my clothes off. And on the way back down, I get that sun and that vitamin D into my body when the sun's out. So I really
took your clothes off and then you sat on them and slid the whole way down.
Ladies, if I took my clothes off, everyone in the immediate vicinity would instantaneously be blinded. I am so white, I'm blue underneath these clothes. It's like powder. The movie Powder.
Honey, you want to
yes.
Bring it.
Oh, I've got you beat. I've
got skin that hasn't been exposed since I was 3.
My nickname used to be Casper. Hello.
We have slid off topic like nobody's business.
Oh my God. And what's really funny is that I got sober in a house full of Black women. So I am the one white woman and I'm so white that it's like I'm illuminating the Black women around me because light is just flooding off of me. And then I joined this choir, this a cappella choir from this same group of people. And I look like a man. I have the voice of a woman, and I'm the only white person in the group. So everybody's like, where is that woman's voice coming from? And they can't tell that I'm a woman because I'm so white. You can't concentrate on me. So after our second show, this just gorgeous elderly woman came up to the choir director and was like, that young man has the voice of an angel. Oh my God, I laughed so hard.
Okay, we're so off topic. Is there any way?
I know, sorry guys. Whistle
Can
while
I
you
leave
work.
entirely?
Can I just add, I've been called the whitest Indian anyone's ever seen. So, you know. So,
oh God, I love you, Shweta. You are my heart, girl. You make me laugh so hard.
Breath, everybody.
Yeah, deep breaths. Yeah.
I know. So what are some of your New Year's resolutions? Or non-resolutions? Just what are some of the things you're focusing on in this first month?
My first month, I'm focusing on faith.
That's right. I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
What does that look like for you, Beth?
That looks like for me, one, believing in myself,
Yes.
believing in others. And it's also a really deep look at what are my limiting beliefs. What are the things that are holding
Good.
me
That's
back?
good. That's you know what? I may steal that from you. I may spend January focusing on limiting. That's a good idea. See, that's
Yeah.
why I hang out with you.
I know. So for me, that's January. January's about faith. And obviously I'm doing the gratitude challenge. So, there's that as well. And I do think that the gratitude challenge just goes so hand in hand with the concentration on faith and on believing in myself and being really present in my life of this is what I'm living day to day. So, all of you know, Sarah and I are taking Nourish because Sharon is going on to Nourish Your World.
So proud of you guys. Woo!
Which is just amazing. So we're going to obviously rope in Shweta, Samantha, and Nina to help us with moderating the group, of course.
Of course.
And it's one of those things that, looking at what 2019 holds, I'm blown away right now. And Sharon, we started the Power of 8 group 3 days ago, and
Woo!
I'm overwhelmed. I'm so excited for every time we meet and get together of what is the miracle that's going to happen today.
Guys, the last time we met, Sammy D's fireplace lit itself mid-meditation. That's how powerful this group is. It lit itself.
Yeah. So, what are my New Year's resolutions? I don't have any.
I think since, Nourish started, a month before all the New Year and Christmas shit started. So many of us that were in Nourish had already made significant changes. Yeah. So I got to New Year and I was like, I'm good. I'm great. There's nothing that I haven't already started. And I think that was one of Sharon's intentions of starting that group before Christmas and the New Year, is that we can make the change then, so we didn't get to the New Year and think, oh shit, I've got to do this and do that and do the other. So, my New Year's resolution is to just, every day for the past year or so, I wake up and I say, I'm okay. And what can I do better today? And that's my only New Year's resolution, is how can I be better today? And I say that every day.
Yeah. So that's beautiful. Absolutely.
I'm just going to carry on.
Yeah. How about you, Nina?
Proud of you.
Me, I'm just going to continue what I'm doing and do more of it. But also, I think this year I will try to focus on being more in the flow. There is always that flow and hustle. And last year I noticed that I was feeling kind of guilty when I would just let myself be. And I was always in this mindset, all the things I could be doing, and I'm here, watching a movie or whatever. And this year I'm going to quit that. It's not serving me. I already quit it, but I'm going to continue quitting it.
Yeah.
Right. For me, I think my main sort of intention this year is to just get more and more visible with my message, because I've been hiding, and I've been called out on that a couple of times. So I've been doing a lot more of just talking about what I have to do and what I want to do and how I want to do. And now it's like any random stranger comes over, I'm just like, oh, this is what I'm doing, So,
guys, I just want to point out, this was Shweta hiding. Just want to put that out there. That's how powerful this personality is, that even when she's hiding, everybody sees her.
Have you seen her new Shweta with a twist? I mean, have you seen that? You know, and she's in your face now. Now she's in your face. Hey, you're in the group
so
and you're not stepping
incredible.
up. What the hell are you doing?
I love it, Shweta. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, yeah, there's going to be more of that, and there's going to be more sort of being aware of the radical gratitude challenge and kind of being in that default mode, because it's very easy for me to quickly kind of forget that, but then now I can stop myself from going into that stupid spiral all the time, and just go back like, hang on, you've got this, so stop it and then sort of rewind and then just breathe out. So yeah, that's all that's going on this year. And
Sharon, you got big plans for this year.
Yes, I do. I want to reach 500,000 people online. I'm starting the church that I've been working on for the last 2 years, but my main focus this year is presence. That's the word that I'm focusing on this year, is just showing up and being a channel instead of, I have this tendency to want to try and force everything and, create it and make it and give it to you. And the truth is that what you need from me is for me to just get out of the way and be whatever it is I'm supposed to be.
Experience just with this Power of 8 group, because I set it up and it just took off by itself. And I was sitting there looking at it going, well, what happened?
That's exactly what
happened
did.
Was I just listened. That's all.
Yes.
Exactly. And I was like, well, wait a minute. Is it all supposed to be this easy? And if it is, then what the hell am I doing all this work for? Why am I working so hard if it's this easy?
Yes, it is this easy. It's just do what is you. You were put here to be you. Yeah. It's so counterintuitive that it's that easy, but it is. I look at Shweta doing what Shweta does. Look at her. She just Sammy D just exploded. Nina, you guys are just exploding, and all you're doing is being you.
Yeah. And that was a huge. I've been trying so hard. What am I trying so hard for? It's easy. It's not do somebody else. It's just do you.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So
I take that back. I've got one New Year's resolution. That's to make Sharon jump out of her chair with joy.
You're well on your way.
She nearly went then, Beth. When you were talking, she nearly jumped out of her chair and did it. So that
guys, you're gonna get there.
Yeah.
You're gonna get there. You're gonna get there, trust me.
She's bouncing around already, so I don't think we got much further to go. we get her out of
I'll
her
tell
chair.
you what, I will bounce out of my chair when you meet me at Sarah's house.
Deal.
Oh man.
Deal. I'm setting a date with her as soon as she's online.
Yeah.
Awesome. I will, if I have to drive up there, I will drive up there and meet you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just simply amazing.
And we can do that run into each other's arms on a beach thing too.
Yes. Guys, we'll do a Facebook Live. We'll do a Facebook Live.
Someone has to do the video in slow motion.
And
oh my God, we do it in slow motion. Can someone film it in slow motion? That'll be hilarious.
Not with these 48Bs, love, no.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus. I wouldn't be able to concentrate. We can't do that. I'd be like, what was I doing again? Wait. I know I was here for a purpose, but I've lost it.
I think our whole panel kind of got off track there.
I think we swayed.
Sorry about that, guys.
Sharon again. It's Sharon. Honestly,
guys,
I can't take her anywhere.
Oh dear. So closing.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
No, you're not.
So closing up on resolutions and the new year. what is your one word for this year? I know Sharon shared her word. I know my word is thriving. What's your word?
Forwards.
Abundance.
Visibility.
Oh, good one.
Yeah.
Good
What was yours,
one.
Nina?
Abundance.
Oh,
Yes.
beautiful. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. And I find it so much easier to just have one word for the year that just, you keep coming back to, is this what I'm doing? Is what I'm doing aligned with this? And if it's not, then why am I doing this?
Yeah.
I think flow's a good word as well. I might have that as a word, flow.
Mm-hmm.
Who mentioned that? Was that
Wow.
Nina?
Flow.
That.
Yeah, maybe we could use that as a collective word, it gets to be easy, we get to be in the flow. That
Yeah.
sounds really good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it should just flow, I mean, it's not that there's not hard work involved, because there is hard work involved. Of course there is. There's work involved, but it does just flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
It just, I know for myself, I've been so busy the last 3 days, and somebody was like, why are you working over the holidays? I was like, because I got so much in my head, it's just got to all come out.
No, it's the 2nd of January. It's just the 2nd. And I made a list this morning of everything I've done already. And I'm like, for goodness, it just happens. And I think once you start just doing you, it will just
Yes.
fall out of you.
Yeah. I think it's hard work that doesn't look like it's hard work. It's just
yeah,
do it.
Yeah.
You just do it.
I mean, when you are just being you and being in the flow and doing stuff that inspires you and that you are meant to do, it's not work, it's not hard. It's just flow.
And I mean, it doesn't mean that there's no discipline. Of course, there's some discipline in it, but it's just, it's getting into that flow on a regular basis of just keeping yourself in that zone. And that's the beauty of it, and even, I would say, even with diet and exercise, it's finding for yourself and your body that place. I know when I'm in the flow with my food. I'm not feeling bloated.
Yes.
I'm not feeling bad. I'm feeling energetic. It's giving me what I need. I can feel it.
And exercise for me, up until this point, it's been kind of terrifying because it's painful. So when I find, just walking to work along the beach, and I'm not thinking anything about that. I'm just moving. I'm just doing it. And that is just amazing. It's good for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not thinking about it. Does that make sense?
Exactly. Absolutely.
And I'm happy, and I'm doing it. So just go with it.
I mean, one of the things that I know, and those of you with young kids will recognize, Isabella was like, let's do this, and I'm like, there's no way I can do that. But sometimes it's just playing with her to wherever my physical limit is of, I definitely can't do that, and reclaiming play, reclaiming fun, reclaiming,
Yes.
Why does this have to be
standing on a treadmill?
You look at a 4-year-old, try and keep up with them and just do what they do.
That's the best personal trainer there is a 4-year-old.
Oh my goodness. No.
And I think they are also the best life coaches.
Yes.
I think Shweta's got one she wants to rent out.
Yeah, I know. My daughter wants me to jump into a ball pit, and I'm just like, Mommy, don't do that.
I would
will.
so do that.
And she's
I did.
and she's just like, it's okay, mommy, I'll push you.
That is your daughter. Wow.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, exactly. And she's like, yay, hi. And she goes, it's okay. Just take a deep breath. And she just goes, and I was like, whoa.
Shweta, your child is a
Need
little
more of
you.
that.
I love it.
Yes, exactly.
I love it.
So now, yeah, when we go to soft play, it's like an hour-long workout, just trying to keep up with her.
Oh,
Yeah, I have an
That's
espresso
amazing.
before and after.
Yeah. But that, I mean, isn't that what life is supposed to be about?
yes.
I mean,
Yes.
if we weren't so focused, and I've discovered this, as I decide I'm not going to the gym, I'm not going to go do a proper workout, I'm just going to go play.
Mm-hmm.
One, it's more fun. It builds relationship with my daughter, and I'm working every damn muscle. I come home and it's worse than any workout at the gym.
I personally, I'd rather eat glass than walk into a gym that smells of everybody else, stand on a treadmill in front of a mirror and a TV screen, and I would just rather eat glass than do that. I'd rather,
But I think we just have these expectations of what we're supposed to be doing, and it's like we just leave that aside and start enjoying life, and especially when we're with kids. Okay, so I don't get that me time of me going to the gym, which I do miss that part of not going to the gym, but like having me and the dogs going for a walk without having to worry about what is my kid doing. I do miss that, the being aware of absolutely everything going along as opposed to mindlessly walking the dog. I miss that part. But at the same time, if we did more of that and had that connection, we'd be getting the workout we need. We're getting the exercise we need, but we're also getting that relationship and that time,
Heart
and
workout.
it's about really valuing that moment, because at the same time, we're never getting that back again. Last night, my 5-year-old slept at the neighbor's house for the first time ever by herself, the sleepover.
Oh my God, I would cry when she does that.
I cried last night. I cried myself to sleep. Okay.
Oh,
I was so proud of her, but there was a part of my heart that was like, oh my God.
She doesn't need me anymore.
She doesn't need
But
me.
that's because of what a
she
fantastic mom you are.
She literally had the neighbor call me to say that she was missing her unicorn, so I had to carry her unicorn over to the neighbor's house. And that was it. She went to sleep with a unicorn.
I would be doing that too.
Wow.
So, this, time just goes by. We start, we're not aware of what we're going to lose. So, all these New Year's resolutions, what good are they if we're not living in the present moment?
No, exactly.
Yep.
So anyway, guys, we are way over time, of course, as we always are.
So it was
Didn't matter if Sharon's here or not here. We always go over time.
Yes.
That's very important.
Final thoughts on changes for 2019, supporting other people. Obviously, an invitation once again to come join Nourish. We're still offering, that 1 hour of coaching with one of us that's in the group to new members. There's a ton of recipes. There's all sorts of resources in there. Come and join us in the group. But more importantly, take small steps for 2019. Don't try to, you eat the elephant one bite at a time. Don't try and stick the whole elephant in your mouth.
Yep.
It wasn't that rude. Come on, guys.
Okay, so small changes, authenticity, just do you, and go with the flow.
Beautiful.
Mic drop.
Yep, go with the flow.
Absolutely. All right. Final words, Nina.
Go with the flow. That's definitely a takeaway from today. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, great to be back with you guys in the new year. And I'm so excited for what 2019 has for us and what we're going to be doing and sharing on the panel of, ditch the diet and face your feelings. And, we're going to start getting more focused on, each week having a topic. We'll be publishing it. We'll be talking about it beforehand. And, really supporting people in that change of lifestyle, of a healthier, a fitter, a more energetic. I think that's really what I want to say. A more energetic you, one that feels better of you being you.
Yep, your best self. Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you all for being with us, and we'll catch you all next week.
Yeah.